Good evening, everyone. Tonight we'll fill you in on all of the latest local headlines and groundbreaking world news.
In this week's headlines, Tom Brady's Super Bowl jersey has been found, Springfield police will face a hearing over an excessive force complaint, and authorities identify the suspect behind the London attacks last week.
I'm Juhi Dasrath.
And I'm Stefan Geller. You're watching UMass News Now.
Upon returning from spring break, the University of Massachusetts students were greeted with 9-foot black fencing around one of two quads in the townhouses on 50 Meadow Street. The fencing blocks all openings between houses, making the only entrance to the yard through the house. It was the decision of Patrick Cammons of Cammons Real Estate to erect the fences in an effort to discourage day drinks and the damage they bring. Cammons stated that every resident received a letter notifying them of the fence and explaining its purpose. Cammons went on further to say that there is a possibility more fences will be added. However, nothing is contracted yet.
UMass unveiled its new economics building, Crotty Hall, on Wednesday. The $10 million, 16,800 square foot building is dedicated to James Crotty, UMass Professor Emeritus of Economics, and his wife Pamela. Crotty Hall is now the first net zero facility at the university, meaning it produces as much energy as it uses. It is equipped with sustainable features such as photovoltaic panels on the roof, natural ventilation and lighting, heat insulation, and a geothermal heat pump system. The project was funded by an anonymous donation of $10 million. According to Chancellor Kumbal Subbaswamy, this is one of the largest donations in UMass history. Construction began about a year ago and finished in December. The staff began moving into the building in early January. The building also houses the School of Public Policy and the Political Economy Research Institute.
The University Programming Council announced its spring concert lineup last week. Matt and Kim, Lil Dicky, and 2 Chainz will perform at the UMass Mullins Center. Every year, the spring concert is organized by UPC, bringing a diverse group of artists to UMass. Lindsay Blackman, executive director of UPC, said, quote, "The artists will definitely put on a great show for the student body." She explained to the Daily Collegian that some problems arose when booking the artist because the date of the spring concert conflicts with the weekend of music festival Coachella. Despite the conflict, Blackman expressed only enthusiasm about the lineup, saying, quote, "I think the artists that we have chose have some great energy." The spring concert will take place on Sunday, April 23rd. Tickets are on sale. Check out UPC Facebook page for more information.
The Student Government Association voted on March 20th to reorganize residential area governments to fall under the Residence Hall Association. Previously, area governments had to submit budget requests directly to the SGA, whereas the new system will give all control of the budget to the RHA to distribute among the area governments. SGA President Anthony Vitale said at the meeting that previously, area governments often didn't submit budget requests to the SGA, so they wouldn't receive any funding. He said that the new system will allow area governments to improve their relationships with the RHA. Vitale added that funding will be divided by area governments based on their population. If area governments don't spend any money by the add-drop period of the second semester of each year, it will be available as a collective sum for all areas to use. This would allow for more active areas to use money unspent on the other area governments. The decision will take effect in the fall of next year.
After a 2-year, $21 million renovation, the old chapel is open and better than ever. Prior to its renovation, the building was closed for almost 2 decades due to deterioration. Last Thursday, the chapel opened its doors, welcoming alum, faculty, and others for the building's ribbon-cutting ceremony. Victor Woldridge, trustee and member of the UMass Building Authority, said that walking through the building was like, quote, walking into a horror movie, end quote. He continued, quote, "I would look up at the beams. The beams, they tell such a great story because these beams just last forever. They are a symbol of strength," end quote. The second floor of the chapel will be used for lectures and performances, while the first floor will be open to students for studying, lounging, events, and other displays.
Over the weekend, the Haitian American Students Association and the Latinos Unidos hosted Hasa Casa, a Movement Unmasked. Elena Jacob has more.
For the past 23 years, the Haitian American Student Association, Hasa, and the Latinos Unidos have collaborated in order to present Hasa Casa. Hasa Casa, a Movement Unmasked, is a cultural night presented to explore and bring the cultures of Haiti and the Dominican Republic to UMass and the surrounding communities. Hasa Casa was on March 25th this year and was hosted in the Campus Center Ballroom from 7:30 in the evening to 2 in the morning. Those wearing all white could purchase discounted tickets at the door. The night began with a live band playing a mix of jazz and Latin music, while a variety of Haitian and Dominican refreshments were available. The food was a special treat for the guests, including plátanos maduros, empanadas, and arroz con gandules. The opening number of Hasa Casa was entitled Interpretive Painting and featured a dancer being painted on by an artist, while another performer read aloud a poem describing the unique qualities that unite the two countries on the island of Hispaniola. After an introduction to the event, both the Haitian and Dominican national anthems, and a special speech by Chancellor Subaswamy, Hasa's dance team performed a Haitian voodoo dance. The final act before intermission was a salsa and bachata dance performance by the dancers of Latinos Unidos.
Mami, hoy he venido a decirte lo que siento. Mami, una canción es suficiente para decir.
Hasa Casa is on the list of events you have to go to before you graduate from UMass, so if you didn't get a chance to go this year, make sure to get your ticket for next year. Elena Jacob, UMass News Now.
Thanks, Elena. In other campus news, UMass continues to receive support from the Bank of America's Charitable Foundation. Focused on first-generation college students who stand out academically, the Honors to Honors program provides tuition and living expenses for bachelor's degree candidates through the Commonwealth Honors College at UMass. Bank of America Charitable Foundation President Carrie Sullivan stated, quote, "We are honored to partner with the University of Massachusetts Amherst in this significant step towards finding innovative and impactful solutions to college access and success for the Commonwealth's most promising in-need students," end quote. In total, the university has received $1 million in financial aid since its launch last year.
Deputy Chair of the Democratic National Committee, Jim McGovern, and Keith Ellison, Congressman of Minnesota, spoke to a crowd of more than 1,000 in the UMass Bowker Auditorium, urging them to organize in their communities to fight the Republican agenda on local, state, and national levels. The congressman called for people to invest time and money in things like education, infrastructure, healthcare, food and shelter, and as well as reducing the defense budget. The congressman also discussed the importance of local and state elections for Democrats, as well as compromising on some agendas for progressives and Democrats to meet somewhere in the middle to fight back against Trump's policies.
UMass Amherst's business, education, engineering, and nursing graduate programs advanced in 2018's edition of U.S. News and World Report's Best Graduate Schools, which was released on March 14th. The Eisenberg School of Management rocketed from number 75 to number 57, and its part-time MBA moved up 3 spots, placing it as number 13. Princeton Review has also released its own ranking, placing UMass Amherst on the list of 150 best value colleges. Since last year's rankings, UMass graduate programs have advanced across the board, aiding in the university's goal to become a top 20 public university.
Following the firing of UMass basketball coach Derek Kellogg, the university thought it had found a replacement with Pat Kelsey, the basketball coach at Winthrop University. However, the night after he had dinner with the team and just minutes before a celebratory press conference, Kelsey had a change of heart. Athletic director Ryan Bamford announced that Kelsey asked to be released from the employment of his contract as the new coach of the Minutemen. Bamford told reporters that Kelsey's decision to not accept the position was, quote, "for personal reasons not related to UMass," end quote. According to Mass Live, Kelsey plans to go back to coaching Winthrop. UMass has yet to fill their now open coaching position and is undecided if Kelsey will have to pay the $1 million buyout that was part of his memorandum of understanding. Here to talk more about the future of UMass men's basketball is UMass Sports Weekly's Phil Sanzo. So Phil, what's next for Kelsey?
Well, Stefan, I mean, he's decided to leave, back out of his deal with UMass in favor of Winthrop, the school he was coming from. He admitted that was a personal decision on his part. He made very clear to Bamford, as Bamford stated to reports later, that had nothing to do with the university or the school or even the finances, given that he was going to get a very big pay raise had he come here. But it was really a personal decision for him, so he'll be going back to Winthrop now.
So what does this sudden turnover mean for the UMass men's basketball team?
Well, at the time, it basically meant they had to start over. I mean, it's not start over completely as in they still had candidates that they had a list of, but it meant that they had to go back and hire a person. I mean, I give them credit. It only took about a week to do that. They hired Matt McCall from out of Chattanooga College. I mean, that signed today. Good for them that they didn't prolong it too long. So they were able to get that out of the way, and hopefully it stays this time.
Well, what do you see in the future for such a young team with already so much turnover in leadership?
Well, this team, I mean, you can't. If you're the players, you're hurt. I mean, they thought they had a coach, then that coach was gone after a day, and every guy on that team, most of the people on that team were recruited by Derek Kellogg. So him getting fired also hurt that team. So I mean, there have been talks. I mean, not talks. I would say speculations is more what it is, that players will transfer following this season, especially some of the young freshman talent. That's still to be see what happens there going over the summer. But yeah, so it really, if you're a freshman, you're hurt, but you have to give this guy a fair shot, just like you give every other coach.
Well, thank you so much, Phil. For the latest updates on the coaching drama, follow us on Twitter at NewsNowUMass and at UMSportsWeekly for by-the-minute updates. Catch UMass Sports Weekly next week on Tuesday at 7 p.m., only on Channel 19.
A new fitness group called Charge on campus gives women a new motivation to hit the gym. Maria Manning has more.
Women on campus no longer have to face exercising alone, thanks to the new fitness group, Charge. The group, which originated at Ohio State University, now has 74 UMass members and aims to ease fitness anxieties at the gym. Julia Shaughnessy, a Charge ambassador, says she brought the chapter to UMass to show women that fitness can be fun.
We have like that fitness concentration, obviously, but it doesn't matter if you've run a marathon before or if you've literally like only worn sneakers because they're comfortable. Like, you know, everyone's welcome and everyone's encouraged to push themselves and, you know, make goals.
During the week, members find automatic gym buddies and small group workouts at the rec center. Individual fitness guides also help women feel more comfortable and open to exploring exercises. The fitness sisterhood Charge creates helps members stick to workout routines and encourages healthy lifestyles. For UMass News Now, I'm Maria Manning.
Thank you, Maria. Springfield police officers will face an interdisciplinary hearing following an excessive force complaint for an incident in April of 2015. The incident occurred near Nathan Bill's restaurant and bar and involved 2 off-duty officers. The Springfield Police Commissioner selected retired Superior Court Judge Bertha Josephson to act as the hearing officer and decide the discipline for the excessive force complaint. The Hampton County District Attorney's Office completed their investigation into the excessive force complaint and did not file criminal charges against the officers.
The City Council Public Safety Committee discussed a proposed new ambulance service with CEO Michael Warnka of Action Ambulance in Wilmington, which became the city's new medical service provider since February 1st, 2017. The plan began running the system known as Public Integrated Healthcare, hinges on establishing reimbursement regulations and working with legislator and insurance companies. Warnka said that the care would aid frequent 911 callers and emergency room users obtain care in different and alternative ways, allowing them to stay in touch with social workers to ensure the proper care. This will avoid the use of ambulance and emergency rooms.
In national news, New England football fans can rest easy as Tom Brady's stolen Super Bowl jerseys have been returned. The quarterback's jersey went missing from the Patriots locker room after the team's victory in Super Bowl 51 on February 5th, which began an investigation stretching from Boston all the way to Mexico. Mexican authorities searched the property of Martín Mauricio Ortega, a Mexican media executive, and found both this year's missing jersey and Tom Brady's jersey from the 2015 Super Bowl victory as well. Ortega has not yet been charged with a crime. In a statement Thursday, Patriots owner Robert Kraft thanked the FBI, Mexican authorities, and other law enforcement agencies involved in the investigation. WWLP reports that colleagues of Ortega said he went to this Super Bowl as a working journalist, but spent the week collecting selfies and autographs from pro football players. It is still unclear how Ortega came into possession of the jerseys.
A big loss for House Republicans in Washington as their bill to repeal the Affordable Health Care Act, commonly known as Obamacare, was pulled by House Speaker Paul Ryan after failing to receive a majority vote on Saturday. The decision to delay the vote is a major setback for President Donald Trump, who presented the on-fence House conservatives with a take-it-or-leave-it ultimatum Thursday night. However, Trump repeatedly blamed Democrats for the failure to pull Obamacare rather than Republicans, despite the fact that Republicans hold the majority in the House. Trump tweeted, "Obamacare will explode, and we will all get our act together and piece together a great health care plan for the people. Don't worry," end quote. Despite efforts by Trump and Ryan to convince the House Republicans to support the repeal and implementation of American Health Care Act, it became clear that they were headed for a lopsided defeat. As stricter conservatives feel the bill kept too much of the ACA intact, while moderators worried about the votes they would lose if Americans lost health care insurance. It appears that Obamacare is here to stay.
In international news, Puerto Rican baseball fans go blonde in support of its baseball team. The team's success at the World Baseball Classic has trended the new fashion, while some fans sport full heads of blonde hair, others have patches, and some just their beards. The trend peaked last Tuesday, the day after Correa hit a 2-run homer, giving the team a spot in the championship game. Quote, "I think it's very fun," end quote, said Bianca Santoni, a Sally Beauty supply worker in Puerto Rico. She explained that they are all sold out of the blonde spray hair dye. Fans continued to pursue as they went on to purchase different shades of blonde, such as copper and platinum blonde. Some have even opted to wear wigs. The trend started when infielders Javier Bez and Francisco Lindor and catcher Yadier Molina encouraged the rest of the players to do the same.
Authorities identified 52-year-old Khalid Masood as the man responsible for last Wednesday's attack in London. Experts say that he had a long criminal record, but was not on the terrorism watch list, although the Islamic State group claimed responsibility for the attack. Masood drove a rented SUV into pedestrians on London's Westminster Bridge, killing 2 and injuring more than 30 people. He proceeded to fatally stab a policeman inside of the gates of Parliament before being shot to death by an armed officer. Metropolitan Police Counter-Terrorism Chief Mark Rowley recorded 4 dead, including the attacker. He said 29 were hospitalized, 7 in critical condition, and there were a number of, quote, walking wounded closer to home. UMass spokesman Ed Belowski stated that although there were Americans found dead, no injuries from UMass students studying abroad in London were reported.
To wrap up this evening's newscast, here's an up-close look at the newly reopened hatch in the student union. Juhi talked to busy students about the student-run business leaders and the updated space. Here's more.
This is Juhi Dasrath with UMass News Now at the hatch in the basement of the student union building. The hatch was opened last Monday, March 20th, as a student activities facility and coffee shop. The space was closed in 2014 due to its replacement by Blue Wall. Student government leaders worked diligently to renovate the approximate 9,000 square foot space. The renovation cost about $180,000, provided by the campus auxiliary enterprises. Some student-run businesses were concerned about the news of the hatch's return, explained People's Market co-manager Allison Peter.
So the student businesses were pretty concerned initially about the news of the hatch opening. We've been working though with Anthony Vitale, who's the SGA president, and he has helped us to kind of secure the hatch as a place to be eventually a student-controlled space. So what's in the hatch right now is a temporary outpost for auxiliary services, and They did put a little coffee place, which is unfortunate for People's Market.
Although there was some initial concern, she is optimistic that those who have gone to People's Market will continue to go because of the service it provides. Students who are loyal to People's Market are also excited about the Hatch's reopening.
But it's like a good space definitely, and I think it's definitely worthwhile to have that open for like students, because like why would you just like have it closed up, because it's like this like big space down there.
I think it's nice that it's not just sitting here. It was kind of awkward for a few years. They just had this space and it was closed, so I'm glad that they're doing something with it.
Vice President Lily Wallace said that as soon as a student-run business is ready and willing to move into the space, Pete's Coffee will be replaced. The Hatch will be open to students for studying, meetings, and informal gatherings. As of now, the hours of operation are 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 11 a.m. to 9 p.m. on Fridays. This is Juhi Dasrath with UMass News Now.
And that concludes tonight's newscast. Be sure to tune in at the same time next week for all of the latest local headlines. I'm Stefan.
And I'm Juhi Dasrath. Thanks for watching UMass News Now. Have a great night.